What's going on, everybody? It's Burko, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you the second half of my list for the top 20 hip-hop albums of all time. If you haven't checked out the first half of my list being the 20 to 11 picks, make sure you do so. Remember, this list is fully my opinion, the albums that I just enjoy the most and what I think are the best. Make sure to leave yours in the comments below. Before we get started, I want to run through some honourable mentions that didn't quite make my top 20 in the previous video. First, the greatest collab album of all time, In Kids See Ghosts by Kid Cudi and Kanye West. The best album from both Ghostface Killah and Outkast respectively in Supreme Clientele and Aquemini. One of the best conscious albums ever in B by Common. Eminem's debut, the Slim Shady LP. Jay-Z's most iconic album, The Blueprint. One of the best mixtapes ever in Young Thug's Jeffrey. Ill Sweatshirt, sophomore album in I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside. A pillar stone for underground hip-hop in Black on Both Sides by Mos Def. And finally, the iconic 2001 by Dr. Dre. Now, without further ado, let's get back into the list, starting at the number 10 spot. Kicking the list off at number 10, we have the first of a few Wu-Tang albums in this top 10, starting with Liquid Swords by the GZA. Released in 1995, being the fourth solo release in the clan post 36 Chambers, Liquid Swords is a masterclass in wordplay, flow, and atmosphere, with the GZA delivering intricate rhyme schemes and thought-provoking lyricism that showcases intellect and precision. The production, handled entirely by the RZA, creates a dark, atmospheric soundscape filled with various samples, gritty drums, and the signature kung fu movie dialogue, this time sampling from Shogun Assassin for the most part, immersing listeners in a world that feels both mythical and streetwise. Tracks like Shadowboxing with Method Man, Investigative Reports with Ray and You God, the title track, and Living in the World Today exemplified the album's raw energy, and possibly has the best Wu-Tang posse cut ever in Fourth Chamber between GZA, Ghostface Killah, Priest, and the greatest rap verse ever in my opinion, RZA, on one of the most menacing instrumentals in hip-hop history. Liquid Swords is aged like a fine wine, maintaining its status as the benchmark for lyrical excellence and atmosphere in hip-hop, standing as one of the most iconic reinventions for an artist in musical history. In many walks of media, they say you can't beat the original, and in the case of Jay-Z's debut album Reasonable Doubt, I believe that to be the case, as for me, this is his best album to date. Reasonable Doubt blends sophisticated lyricism with Ho's young confidence and luxurious yet gritty production together, capturing the essence of a hustler's ambition, with Jay-Z delivering smooth rhymes and flows that detail the highs and lows of street life with an unmatched level of wit and bravado. Tracks like Can't Knock the Hustle with Mary J. Blige, Politics as Usual, and Dead Presidents 2 all showcase his philosophical depth, while Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie and my personal favourite, The Evils, highlighted Jay as one of the hungriest prospects in hip-hop at the time. The production, handled by legends like DJ Premier and Ski Beats, provides a soulful yet hard-hitting backdrop that elevates Jay-Z's mafioso-inspired narratives, and over the years Reasonable Doubt has only grown in stature, often cited as Jay-Z's best work and a blueprint, no pun intended, for intelligent, elite-level rap, solidifying its place in hip-hop history. Up next at number 8, I've got the greatest posthumous album of all time, and the Notorious B.I.G.'s double album magnum opus, Life After Death. Released only a few weeks after Biggie's untimely passing in March of 1997, this near 2-hour-long album showcased Big as one of the most versatile, top-tier storytellers in hip-hop, displaying an unmatched level of charisma on the grandest scale. Life After Death serves as both a cinematic sequel to Ready to Die and a definitive statement of his greatness, seeing Biggie smoothly transition between mafioso rap on tracks like N-Words Bleed, 10 Crack Commandments, and then club anthems in Hypnotize and Mo Money Mo Problems with the guy from Get Him to the Greek. Along with raw street tales on Somebody's Gotta Die and My Downfall, and one of my personal favourite storytelling hip-hop cuts ever in befittingly named I've Got a Story to Tell, demonstrating his ability to craft hits without compromising his lyrical depth. The production featuring legends like DJ Premier, the RZA and the Diddler blend soulful samples with glossy, radio-friendly beats, making the album both commercially dominant and critically acclaimed, certified diamond just 3 years after its release in 2000. Life After Death cemented Biggie's legacy, proving that his influence and storytelling brilliance would resonate far beyond his time and live on nearly 30 years later. Quite possibly the most cinematic album in hip-hop, with one of the greatest narratives ever told through an album. At number 7, it's Good Kid, Mad City by Compton's own Kendrick Lamar. Good Kid, Mad City is a masterfully crafted coming-of-age narrative detailing Kendrick's life as a child and teenager in Compton, blending vivid and powerful storytelling, intricate lyricism, and cinematic production together to live up to the album's tagline of being a short film by Kendrick Lamar, and that's also down to its cohesive and immersive structure, narrating these childhood experiences right from the intro of Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, through to the art of Peer Pressure, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, Good Kid, and Mad City, all highlighting Kendrick's raw energy and technical brilliance, and that's without mentioning the radio classics of Swimming Pools, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, and Poetic Justice with Drake. And I've also got to talk about my personal favourite off of the deluxe of the album, In Black Boy Fly, absolute cinema. The production, handled by a diverse lineup including Dr. Dre, Hit Boy, and Pharrell, creates a dynamic soundscape that shifts between sounding haunting, jazzy, and hard-hitting, making Good Kid, Mad City feel like a cultural milestone, redefining modern storytelling in hip-hop, and solidifying Kendrick's status as one of the greatest rappers of his generation. And what's even crazier is that this is somehow not even his best album. If you asked 100 people to think of a hip-hop album, I'm going to make an educated guess that at least 60% of those people will first say Illmatic by Nas, widely regarded by many as the greatest hip-hop album of all time. With Illmatic, Nas set a new standard for lyricism, storytelling, and production within the genre, capturing the raw essence of life in Queensbridge, with Nas painting cinematic portraits of street life through his intricate wordplay and poetic delivery on tracks like New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours, Halftime, It Ain't Hard to Tell, and Life's a Bitch with AZ, showcasing his ability to blend vivid imagery with deep introspection, or songs like One Love with Q-Tip and Memory Lane highlighting his wisdom beyond his years, and the production handled by legends like the formerly mentioned Q-Tip, DJ Premier, and Pete Rock, creating a timeless soundscape that perfectly complements Nas's flawless flow. At just 10 tracks, Illmatic is concise yet impactful, not a single second is wasted, making it one of the most revered and influential hip-hop albums ever, setting a benchmark for aspiring lyricists and a defining moment in hip-hop forever. Now, I've just talked about Kendrick right before I talked about Illmatic, and I've mentioned that Good Kid, Mad City isn't even his best album, and that's because 3 years later, he somehow completed an impossible feat of leveling up that album with To Pimp a Butterfly. Not many albums have transcended hip-hop quite like To Pimp a Butterfly has, blending jazz, funk, aggressive hip-hop together with some of the most profound performances a rapper has ever recorded. Kendrick delivers a powerful exploration of identity and self-worth, tackling themes of both the evils of the music industry in America as a whole, survivor's guilt, and the burdens of fame. Tracks like All Right and King Kunta became anthems, while songs like How Much a Dollar Cost, The Blacker the Berry, and You dive into personal struggle and self-reflection with raw emotion. And then there's just tracks that I can't describe as anything short of perfect. Wesley's Theory, Mama, Institutionalized, Hood Politics, the For Free and the For Sale interludes, and one of the greatest outros in hip-hop history with Mortal Man, finding out that Kendrick's monologue that he's been doing at the end of every other song on the album was a poem to Tupac of all people at the end. Again, like Good Kid, Mad City, absolute cinema. The production featuring legends like Thundercat, Flying Lotus, and Terrence Martin feels so innovative and timeless for jazz rap, making T-Pab stand out as an artistic statement that pushed hip-hop's boundaries, proving that rap could be as musically ambitious and socially relevant as any other art form, a modern-day jazz rap masterpiece, and for me, a certified top 5 rap album of all time. Only Built for Cuban Linx by Raekwon, in my opinion, is the definitive gangster rap album. The original Cuban Linx, in the third solo release after the formation of the Wu-Tang Clan, perfected the mafioso rap subgenre while delivering some of the sharpest rapping performances and cinematic atmospheres ever presented in rap. Released in 1995, the album plays out like a crime epic, unlike its Wu counterpart sampling scenes from the mafia film The Killer, rather than having the standard kung fu films, with Raekwon along with Ghostface Killah for a large number of the tracks, weaving intricate narratives of street life, hustling and ambition, elevating their verses to the highest levels. Tracks like Criminology, Verbal Intercourse with Nas, Ice Cream with Method Man and an Emerging Capadonna, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Guillotines with Rebel INS and Jizza, Wu Gambinos with Meth, RZA and Master Killer, along with so many others showcase their razor-sharp wordplay, along with the RZA's production, which in my opinion is his best body of production work ever, providing a dark, soulful orchestral backdrop that enhances the album's immersive atmosphere, and is especially evident on the best 3 tracks on the album in my opinion, in the final 2 tracks in Heaven and Hell between Chef and Tony Starks, and one of the greatest outros ever in North Star with ODB and Papa Wu, and quite possibly the greatest rap song of all time in Rainy Days with Blue Raspberry, genuinely operatic. Only Built for Cuban Linx is the greatest gangster rap album ever. Its influence on hip-hop is undeniable, cementing it as a timeless classic that remains one of the greatest of all time 30 years later. Sticking with the Wu as we enter my top 3 for the list now with Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, the greatest showcase of chemistry on a hip-hop album ever. 36 Chambers revolutionised East Coast hip-hop with its raw, unfiltered energy, unique group dynamic and groundbreaking production, courtesy of the greatest producer of all time, the RZA. The album introduced the world to the Wu-Tang Clan, a collective of 9 MCs with distinct styles over incredibly gritty, lo-fi and sample-heavy beats. You've got the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, U-God, Ghostface Killah, Killer, Master Killer, and the Method Man. Every track from Bring the Ruckus, Shame on an M-Word, Clan in the Front, 7th Chamber Part 1 and 2, Can It All Be So Simple, The Mystery of Chess Boxing, Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, Cream, Method Man, Protect Your Neck, Tears, creating a sound unlike anything before it. The album's unpolished basement-style aesthetic gave it an authentic underground feel, influencing countless artists and reshaping East Coast hip-hop. 36 Chambers proved that raw talent, innovation, and unity could create something legendary, solidifying the Wu-Tang status as one of the most influential groups in rap history. For my silver medal, I have an artist I've already spoke about on this list, and it's the greatest rapper of all time in M.A.A.d. When I spoke about Illmatic, I stated that it was regarded by many as the greatest hip-hop album ever. So what for me makes It Was Written by M.A.A.d even better and even closer to the title of the greatest album of all time? It Was Written is everything Illmatic was, leveled up to an entire new high, pushing the boundaries of lyricism and storytelling while elevating M.A.A.d to superstar status. The album showcases a more polished and commercially appealing sound while still feeling atmospheric, eerie and menacing, blending street narratives with a mafioso-inspired aesthetic, seeing Nas move from Nasty Nas to Nas Escobar with The Firm. Tracks like I Gave You Power, Shootouts and Suspect, and the first ever Nas song I heard as a kid in The Message, display Nas's unparalleled ability to craft intricate and thought-provoking narratives, standing as some of the greatest storytelling songs ever, while hits like If I Ruled the World, Live In With Rap with Mobb Deep, and Street Dreams introduces genius to a broader audience. And then there is the greatest posse cut in the history of hip-hop, Affirmative Action with the rest of The Firm in AZ, Call Me Ager and Foxy Brown, 4 of the most complete and incredible verses of all time. The production handled by the likes of the Trackmasters, Havoc of Mobb Deep, Primo and Dr. Dre, which was legendary at the time as it was the first time Dre had actually linked with an East Coast rapper, all give the album a richer, more polished sound that helped bridge the gap between underground lyricism and mainstream appeal. It was written and stood the test of time as an ambitious, expertly crafted album that cemented Nas's legacy as one of the greatest storytellers ever seen in hip-hop, and is very close in my opinion to being the greatest rap album of all time, taking the silver runners-up medal in my list. The College Dropout by Kanye West is, in my opinion, the greatest album of all time in music. There isn't a single moment wasted, not one misstep, just pure brilliance from start to finish. Every song, every skit, every beat, every lyric contributes to an experience that feels deeply personal yet universally relatable. How many people truly feel like they're wasting their lives away when they go off to college or university for that matter? It's the best produced album ever, blending soul samples, orchestration, and hard-hitting drums in a way that was completely groundbreaking at the time. But what makes this album truly special is Kanye's hunger, his honesty, and his ability to be deeply introspective and wildly entertaining at the same time. You've got Through the Wire, Jesus Walks, Family Business, All Falls Down, Never Let Me Down, School Spirit, The New Workout Plan, Get 'Em High, Spaceship, 2 Words, and the greatest outro an album could ever have in Last Call, a fitting ending to a true celebration of the greatest album ever made. There's an energy, a passion, and authenticity here that no album has ever matched since, and The College Dropout is an album that honestly changed my life and how I view music. It changed hip-hop and changed music forever, and very few records have ever come close to its level since, and for me stands as the greatest album not just in hip-hop but of all time in music. So there we have it. There are my top 10 and top 20 hip-hop album list done. If you didn't check out the 20 to 11 picks video, make sure you do so on my channel. As I said, it's just all my opinions, so don't get too upset over it. Make sure to leave your picks in the comments below. And if you stayed till the end and have actually watched both videos, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.